music began long before it was formalized into notes and phrases. For mankind, it began with an accident.
1942, a world at war. Onofrio DeCara was on the factory line at GM in Terrytown, building military planes. But on September 8th, he and his wife Angelina were ushering in Frederick John DeCara to the world. Word is that 15 seconds after birth, Fred was waving to the doctors and winking at the nurses. A few months later, before Ed Merwin headed overseas to fight the Germans, he and Florence welcomed their first of three, December 17th, 1942, a beautiful baby girl named Harriet Lee Merwin. After the war, Fred's dad was a carpenter by trade, but he and his brothers would take over their pop's restaurant, Joe's, in Irvington, where young Fred learned how to wash a dish, a trait that would serve him well as a future husband. And a few neighborhoods over, Harriet's dad had moved to Terrytown and was starting a restaurant himself at Bloomingdale's in Manhattan. Over 50 years later, 40 Carrots is still going strong. Living a few neighborhoods apart, but didn't even know each other. They would be the first teachers in the family, and it's this decision that brought them together during student teaching at Huntington Junior High, 22 years old. Wasting no time and madly in love, the two were wed a year later. The next thing you know, there was Laura, Fred, and Debbie. Back home in Ivyland, Fred and Harriet stayed busy raising the kids. The perfect place for family and so many wonderful friends. Her daughter, Laura, still makes this face today. And yep, Fred does too. Debbie, surely you didn't make any of these faces. Harriet played in a contemporary music group and later in a bluegrass band. This girl can play a mean washboard. And sports was a big part of her life as well. Tennis championships. Later, she started playing golf. Look, we'd be here all night if we went through the whole 80 years. But I think it's fair to say that the strong love for each other, hard work, and dedication paved the way for years of happiness with awesome children. I was bribed to say that. And lots of grandchildren. Boy, do they love those grandchildren. And they were blessed with their first of many great-grandchildren. Of course, Coach is already teaching them proper sit-ups. This next chapter could be the makings for a 30 for 30 episode on ESPN. Many of you tonight call him Coach. So many of these 80 years have been dedicated to you guys. He demanded and received a word he preaches: respect. Oh, and the competition within the family, the annual Thanksgiving football game. Coach was the Tom Brady, Harriet, the official umpire. Well, we're on to the finale, but I need to make sure you guys know about Uncle Joe real quick. He says he taught Fred all he knows about sports. He's 7 years older. Where is he? He's here tonight. Joe, are you awake? Sharon, give him a nudge. I asked Coach Fred the secret to making it these years in marriage. and he sat me down and showed me a YouTube. Once he figured out how to load it on his phone. "This is the secret," he said.
Farm boy, fill these with water. Please.
As you wish.
When he was saying as you wish, what he meant was, I love you.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and clouds of white, the bright blessed day, the dark sacred night. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. As I think to myself, what a wonderful